Welcome. In this video we're going to start a tire profile sketch so that we can revolve and really get a bulk of the work done when it comes to creating your own custom tire to go on your custom wheel. So with that, let's get started. We actually need to open up your wheel part, and obviously yours will look a little more done with a hub and a whole spoke system in it, but really what we need is the same, whether it's completely done or just started like mine. We're going to go back into that very first revolution that made the rim, and we're going to find the sketch. So hit the little plus or the triangle symbol, expand revolution, and there's that first sketch. I'm going to right click and copy it. And we're going to start a new file, standard IPT. And if we expand our origin, we can go find the XY plane that we so often use and right click, paste. Press home on the keyboard, zooms the fit, and I'll just maximize the screen to get the most space we can. And here we have that first sketch again that you made to create your rim profile. And this is important because this is exactly what the tire is resting against. So we kind of need to know this shape when sketching out our tire. We have a few things we need to add, some fillets, because you would have added these fillets to your rim once it was a model. So I'm going to go grab the fillet tool. Okay. Sorry, we got to double click and make sketch 1 active. Home on the keyboard. Zoom in. Now we can try the fillet tool. That looks better. And we're going to be using an 1/8 inch fillet, and we're going to be rounding off this corner, and this one, the vertical to the 5 degrees, and the 5-degree line to the safety ridge. And notice this line disappears because it gets trimmed all the way back to there, and that's okay. We're not drawing in this area anyway. We're drawing between the safety ridge and the flange. I'm going to go repeat on the other side. Those two, the 5 degree. Now don't try to click right here in the corner because you might accidentally click the 9-inch line. Go down here where it's easy to pick the 5-degree sloping line, and then 5 degree to the safety ridge. And right click, OK. There, we've added the fillets we need. We are actually going to click finish sketch at this point and home on the keyboard. And if you want, you can go isometric view, that's fine. We're going to start another sketch, and we're going to click on the same XY plane that our first sketch is on. And the reason we're putting a sketch on top of another sketch is because we're going to pull some of this information up to our current sketch. Remember, there's the sketch we're actually seeing is behind the active sketch. We're going to pull a little bit of information up, and then we'll shut sketch 1 off so we don't accidentally disturb or change it, because it's kind of our reference for everything we need to do here. If you go up top, we're going to get the project geometry tool, and you are just going to click on these items here. Zoom in to get that fillet, 5 degree, fillet, safety ridge, and let's repeat on the other side. So safety ridge, fillet, line, zoom in, fillet, line, and fillet, line. And actually I'm going to project all 3 construction lines. This horizontal, this vertical, and this horizontal through the origin. Finish sketch, just for the moment. And we're going to go back to our browser, and on sketch 1, right click, shut the visibility off. It's gone. There's actually something there, and what you can do at this point is right click on sketch 2 and go to the properties, In the top drop arrow, a bunch of people made these green. And just click off to deselect, but they find the green easier to see. And we're going to go back into Sketch 2 and start working. As you can see, all your projected geometry is green, and this is what's going to help us set up our tire profile. So a little bit tricky with the whole sketch on top of a sketch, but hopefully the video just showing it done helps a little. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, I'm just going to kind of pan this down a little bit to the side. Rectangle. And I want the rectangle to be 265 millimeters wide, tab, by 265 times let me add millimeters. 265 mm times 0.40. Enter. So we have essentially this is setting up the width of our tire and the height of our tire. And our tire is 265 millimeters wide, and the other number is a 40, which is the aspect ratio. So it's a percentage of how tall it is compared to how wide it is. And 40 is a very low profile tire. This would be your high performance street tire. I'm going to escape. I'm done drawing. I'm going to put a box around this and just make everything construction. Click off a few times to deselect. Now, I want this tire box to be located on top of my projected geometry. So I'm going to use the coincident constraint. Find the midpoint of the rectangle, the bottom line, and essentially right there in the origin. Right click OK. So this is basically the box our tire is going to live within. And I'm just double checking my drawing here. Some notes are to stay inside of the box. Do not cross into the wheel. We want to get as close as possible when we draw the rubber going up and around. And it looks like, really this is set up to be a street tire example. If you want to do something off-road, talk to me and we'll see what we can come up with. So line tool, I'm going to zoom way in, and I'm just going to start close to that wheel without going through it. And again, it's pretty parallel there. And we'll go up. So I'll zoom out a little bit more so I can see what I'm looking at. Here, I'm going to restart, go to there, restart, and go to the midpoint. And right click OK for the moment. Okay, I'm going to go grab a large, sorry, I was just looking at my drawing. I'm going to grab a large fillet, and I'm going to try something like 1.5 inches and just see how that looks. Sure, looks pretty good. Let's click the next two lines. Okay, our coincidences don't cross. That's a good thing. Sometimes that happens and that's bad. And we will also go down here and try the 1.5 inches. Oop. See, there's a problem. 1.5 inches crosses through my wheel. I'm going to bump this down to just 1. And I think it just misses. So that's good. Excellent. Right click OK. And then next, what we want to do is use the offset command. Comes in handy. It appears offset. I'm going to grab this shape and bring it in. That's what I was a little bit afraid of. Escape. We do have a little glitch here. So F8. Let me see my constraints again. Might try trimming back this line. right click, okay, right click, hide constraints. Let's try the offset again. There we go. So see, if something doesn't work, we've got to figure out how to clean it up a little bit. And our offset distance is going to be 0.5. Escape. And that looks great. The sidewall's looking nice. No major issues there. What we do want to change though is this. This is just not thick enough to have tread in. So I'm actually going to delete that line. I'm going to just draw another random line in down below to the midpoint here. Right click OK. Or the center line. And then I can use a fillet tool. We're going to again jump this back up to something big. We'll try 1.5. It wants to work like that. Let's try 1. That actually looks pretty good. So I'm going to go with that. Escape. And I'll just delete this other geometry I don't need. Okay. And there we go. Kind of got a nice thicker area. Should really dimension that. Should have did that first probably. It should be 1 inch. A fillet, it just coincidentally was also 1 inch. And then we can close in the end of our profile. What I'm doing on this one is I'm just going to actually make half the tire profile, and we're going to mirror it over. And I'm going to come down here. This is the last thing we need to do to close in our region. We're going to grab the spline tool. And it's up to you whichever one you like. I'll try this one. But essentially, every place you click is where the spline has to pass through. And we're going to check mark it, right click, and it is created. If you want, you could throw a tangent dimension on that says this line and that are tangent, and those are tangent. If you want to adjust the profile a little bit, you grab the little dots. Look at that. And it shapes up quite nicely. Okay. Dimension over here. It's 1/2 inch, so our sidewall still has maintained a 1/2 inch of thickness, and it's majority of the area, and we have 1 inch for this area. We're going to use the mirror tool. We're going to say that these lines everything we drew here needs to be selected so that when we mirror it, it gets transferred over to the other side. Now when you go to this top line, because it's on top of the construction, you might just have to there. If you wait for a minute, you can then select which one you're after. There we go. And my mirror line is this. Apply. Look at that. The other half is all done for us. Finish sketch. Revolve tool. Well, see, not uncommon. We got a little issue here. For some reason, it doesn't think it's closed in, so I'm going to cancel. Go back into that sketch. And right away, I'm going to run the sketch doctor. So right click, sketch doctor, diagnose my sketch. And yeah, I'm going to say okay to look for all those things. And I'm going to get a lot of errors because of the projected geometry. But mainly I'm just looking to see if when anything highlights over here. And usually it's these warning issues. Right there. So see, it says something's not connected there. Or there. And then we have a couple of open loops from those projections. So what I can do is leave this one highlighted, go next, next, and let's close it. And it's saying select the curves to keep the loop going. So I need to get that middle one, top, say nope. There we go. Nope. Just wait for it. Oh, it helps us close the gap, sure. And now we'll finish sketch and try revolve again. And there we are. Axis, this the line that's 10 inches below again. And full revolution. Click OK. And there is how you get your tires started. Okay. Have a little patience with that sketch. As you saw, even, sometimes it gives me a little bit of trouble, but I just stuck with it. I used the sketch doctor. Some people could have just zoomed way in and looked closely. Maybe I would have saw the gap and known to close it. But with a little persistence, it should work out just fine. It's not too hard of a shape. There's plenty of leeway there. The main thing I'm looking at is we are close to the rim, but don't cross it, and that you have a 1/2 inch sidewall and a 1 inch thick tread area. Okay? As long as the rest looks pretty proportionate and realistic, we'll be good. Okay? So good luck with that. Ask me for any real struggles you're having so I can give you a hand and maybe fix some things. But that gives you a really good start to your tire profile. Good luck.